So what happens when a hero is forced to break the law? When friends suddenly become enemies and that clear line between right and wrong just vanishes? We're about to dive deep into a world where a superhero rebellion is brewing in the shadows, and it's asking a huge question. How much of our freedom are we actually willing to give up for the sake of security?
Okay, so we're not starting at the beginning here. Nope, we are dropping right into the middle of the action, into the fallout. The mood is immediately dark, and the story kicks off with a puzzle, a hero in chains.
The art itself tells so much of the story here. Just look at those heavy shadows and the gritty detail. This is not your bright, shiny superhero comic. We see two guys tied up together, the famous villain Vulture, and wait, is that Captain America? The title hangs right over them. Captain America Goes Underground. It just makes you stop and ask, what on earth could make the ultimate symbol of law and order go rogue?
Now, to figure out what's really going on, the story does something super clever. It flips the script. We're suddenly seeing things from the other side, from the perspective of the authorities, the super powerful agency S.H.I.E.L.D., as they try to piece this all together.
15, that's the number. 15 supervillains have been captured in just 24 hours. Now, on the surface, that looks like a huge win for S.H.I.E.L.D. and their new Superhuman Registration Act. Case closed, right? Well, not quite.
And here it is. This bit of dialogue from S.H.I.E.L.D. Director Maria Hill gets to the heart of the problem. She's looking at all the data and something just feels off. It's too neat, too perfect. The official story is that Captain America is out there with maybe one other hero, but come on, the numbers just don't make sense. And this is our first real hint that there's a much bigger mystery afoot.
And this panel, wow, it just captures that dawning horror perfectly. The close-up on her face really says it all. See, her nightmare scenario isn't just that Captain America is a fugitive. It's that he's not alone. He's organized. He has a whole network, maybe even an army. He's leading a full-blown underground resistance, and that just raises the stakes for absolutely everyone.
So, just as we're wrapping our heads around that, the story yanks us into a high-speed chase. The pace just explodes as S.H.I.E.L.D. starts closing in on another hero who won't register.
This is your classic cat-and-mouse chase sequence. On one side, you've got Patriot, a young hero from the Young Avengers, running for his life across these dark rooftops. The wide panels really emphasize how huge and isolating the city is. And on the other side, S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, with him right in their crosshairs. You feel like you're right there in the middle of it all.
Listen to this line from the SH agent. It's so important. They shoot these tranquilizer darts at him, and they just bounce right off. Right there, in that one moment, you realize the authorities are a step behind. Their intel is totally out of date. This resistance is way smarter than they ever thought.
Oh man, look at the energy in this panel. The giant crash, the glass shattering, papers flying everywhere. It is just pure chaos. Patriot is totally cornered and makes this desperate leap through a skyscraper window. The art just makes you feel the impact of that crash. It really, really looks like it's all over for him.
But this is where the story pulls its absolute best trick. The whole frantic chase screeches to a halt, and everything we just saw, everything we thought was happening, it's about to get turned completely upside down. So we're seeing this all from Patriot's perspective now. He's on the floor, surrounded by broken glass, and he's looking up in absolute terror. He thinks it's over, that S.H.I.E.L.D. finally got him. He's been herded into a trap. The tension is just through the roof. And then, the big reveal. That shadowy figure isn't a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. It's Captain America. The chase? It wasn't S.H.I.E.L.D. hunting Patriot. It was Captain America testing him. That whole insane, dangerous pursuit was basically a high-stakes job interview to see if Patriot had the guts to join the secret resistance. What a twist! But before we can even really process that brilliant twist, the comic cuts away to this chaos in the streets. We're left hanging. We see other heroes being captured, zapped with electricity, loaded onto transports. It's a brutal reminder of the real, ugly consequences of this war, and it just leaves us wondering what's going to happen next. And then we get this final, super mysterious image. The art style is totally different, very stylized, and you see the logo for Hydra, one of Marvel's most evil organizations. It's what you'd call a stinger at the end of a movie. It's hinting that while all our heroes are busy fighting each other, something much, much worse is just watching from the shadows, waiting for its chance to strike. So you see, this whole chapter is way more than just an action story. It uses mystery, it switches perspectives, and it uses these incredibly powerful visuals to ask some really tough questions. Questions about loyalty, about the law, and about where each of us would draw the line.
And that brings us right back to the core conflict of the entire Civil War storyline and the question it leaves for all of us to think about. When you're forced to choose between personal freedom and collective security, is there even a right answer? This isn't just some comic book problem, right? It's a debate that's happening in our own world every single day. Captain America has made his choice. So what would you do?